Hi YouTube! So I was interrupted earlier when I was recording my story. I think I called it The Dark Armies or something. And I got cut off when I was sorry, I just tried to tell the rest. I just started a few seconds ago. I tried to do this second part and YouTube lost signal and I couldn't upload it. So I'm trying it again and hopefully this one's going to be better than my other one. So this is still the Dark Armies. I'm going to try to tell more of it. And I think I stopped when I was talking about the power that the knowledgeable ones figured out, right? Sorry. My throat hurts and I want to keep telling it, so I grabbed this. Anyways, so here we go. So the powers that the knowledgeable ones came up with, that they discovered, was the ability to tell somebody's intentions from what you could see of them, and you can also tell the nature of a person, if they were good or evil in your terms. So it's different depending on the kind of person you are, but so that's how it works. And when you turn 17, you wake up and all you see are lights, and those lights are people and places, and basically it doesn't show you the intentions, it shows you the nature of a person or a being, and they have put that to use. It also shows intentions of the being, but it only works if the intentions align with the nature. So if it'll make sense later, hopefully. So, anyways, the wars began when Kira was 14, and slowly over the years, the Dark Armies made their way south from the mountains, and Kira lived in the very south. I think I've stated this before. So, the day that the armies were known to have to be coming their way, like the day that the people of, you know, Kira's village learned the intentions with the powers that a few people had, that they were on their way. Kira was sitting in the library and she was reading. And Kira did this every single day. She would go straight to the library because they actually didn't have a school where Kira lived. Their families would teach their children. So Kira, instead of being taught by her family, she would go to the library every day and read a book on a different subject. Kira was a very bright girl, but she was also very, what's the word? She was very timid. She was very shy, very timid. She wasn't brave or courageous. She was a very timid person. But she was in the library and she was reading one of her favorite books. It was actually a book about mathematics. She was really good at mathematics, and that's not really important to the story, but, you know, who cares? And so she was reading, and all of a sudden she hears screaming. And in the library there are no windows, no large windows like you would see in a library or a church or an actual house. The only way to look outside of the library and the library was the only two-story building in the village, and it was the only stone building. And during just all the time, the library would be locked. And the library, for some reason, had this magic in it that the library itself chooses who's allowed to enter. And the library is just completely made out of stone. So she hears people like trying to get inside the library. The door itself is stone, and she's in the corner, she's hiding, and she hears people just kind of give up. Obviously it's stone, and it won't let people in because it's magical. And so she finds the only place that you can see outside the library where you're inside it. On the second floor of the library, in between the first bookshelf, in between the first and second bookshelf you pass. And she goes in between the bookshelves, and she she gets down on her hands and knees, and she takes her fingers and she feels on the brick of the wall, and she starts from the floor, and she counts up, because you can't find this unless you read it in a book about the library. There's always a book on the library in which you're in. And she takes her hand and she brushes it from the bottom to the top. She counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And at the 6th brick in front of her, she takes her thumb and she sticks it under this small lip. Barely even there. You couldn't find it if you didn't know it was there. And she takes it and she pulls the brick. And she pulls the brick out and she catches it in her hand. She puts it down and she looks out the hole in the wall that she made with the brick. And you cannot see from the ground if you're next to the library, and if you're far away from the library, you're too far away to see the hole. So the downside of the library is that you won't be able to find it. Somebody's at the door. I will finish later.